Glaciers. Glaciers are very sensitive to warming, and most of the glaciers world over are showing a receding trend. Pindari Glacier in 1936 and in 2006. A recent Government of India report has stated that most of the Indian glaciers are now receding. This is a satellite image of Gangotri Glacier, which feeds River Ganga. There has been a decrease in ice cover in the last 50 years. It is greater than the decrease in the 150 years that preceded it. The Himalayan glaciers are very important to us because they are the source of 7 major Asian rivers. They provide drinking water to 40% of the world's population. The densely populated Indo-Gangetic Plain are heavily dependent for agriculture and their water needs on this glacier. The melting of the Himalayan glaciers will adversely impact river systems in 2 ways. First, increase the volume of water in rivers, leading to widespread flooding. Secondly, then a drying out of the rivers as the glaciers completely disappear. Biodiversity. Himalayas are home to rich biodiversity and a fragile ecosystem. The vanishing glaciers will also lead to loss of fauna and flora in this region, and probably the end of beautiful and elusive snow leopards with many other species. Climate change is altering birds' migration patterns and seriously disturbing their breeding pattern also. Another group of animals that is particularly susceptible to climate change is amphibians. They include frogs, toads, and salamanders. Oceans. They are the biggest sinks of carbon dioxide, but in the process get acidic, which affects the marine life form adversely. Coral reefs are of special importance as they are the richest source of marine biodiversity, like the rainforest on land. Coral bleaching and mortality exceeds 50% in many parts of the Indian Ocean. High temperature causes coral disease white syndrome. Increasing ocean's acidification makes it difficult for corals to survive. Climate change is leading to some unwanted species spreading faster, like these giant jellyfish, which used to be relatively rare in Japan, appearing once in only 40 years. Now they are an almost annual occurrence, and they cause damage to the coastal fisheries. Water and vector-borne diseases have shown a rise due to climate change. The transmission of many infectious diseases is affected by climate factors. It affects the distribution and seasonality of many of these diseases. The increase in temperature would tend to accelerate vectors' life cycles and would also decrease the incubation period of the parasite or virus. Dengue reported in Bhutan and Nepal for the first time in last decade. These diseases were found normally at a height of 500 meters above sea level. Of late, they have been sighted at an altitude of 2200 meters in Darjeeling and 4000 meters in Nepal. Chikungunya, which resurfaced in India after 31 years in 2006, has also been reported for the first time in Italy. Climate change indirectly leads to waterborne diseases because floods, droughts, and extreme events contaminate the drinking water, enabling conditions for the waterborne cholera bacteria to spread more easily. Aftermath of extreme events lead to stagnant water, and vector growth like malaria and dengue takes place. These consequences of climate change are disproportionately affecting the poor countries, which is why it is so important for us to make changes in our lives and in our country to ensure that those most vulnerable are able to adapt. We will look at some of the solutions in the next section.